right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a good day. This is your thumbnail today. Buy the dip. You get it? This is your fault. I'm going to talk about what we got going on here. We're actually going to have a little bit of a change of pace for the watch list today. It's the Chad's fault. You'll understand why, especially if you were there today on stream. But if you saw the market today, it was wild, but hopefully yesterday's watch list prepared you. But we need to talk about what happened, and I want to share with you why I think inflation is not coming down. We had the release today. The headline came in at 4.9 instead of 5%. That one was a very welcome surprise, and that was the inflation softening and coming down. But I don't see that as inflation coming down. But the thing that happened today, why did the market go up? Core did not move at all. It stayed at 5.5. Now it is 5 months. It has not gone below that number. But what happened this morning after we got the CPI report, that thing called supercore that Powell always brings up. He says, if you look at inflation, excluding housing, services, and like everything, right? But pretty much housing, that finally dropped for the first time since July of last year, and it came in at 0.1% gain month over month, but compared to last month, and last month was a welcome decline. That one was 0.5, but that's what got everybody excited. But you see how the markets traded today. It was absolutely wild, and we pretty much ended up right where we started, and here's where it gets interesting. This is right where we were at with Powell over the last 5 days. Pretty much that was the highs and where we closed today. So we're going to see how it plays out. We do have data tomorrow. Let's talk about what happened today. That was the very quick rundown. So I hope you got it. I gave it to you as just all rapid fire. So now we can feast, okay? So hopefully you liked the video, but this is your fault. Y'all were showing love. Like, bro, I be showing y'all stacks of money in the video, and you still be donating and showing love. God bless you, for real. I appreciate all of you. So I said we'd have some fun. Today was a wild day. I thought the bonds would get blown out, but it wasn't that bad. We're actually still up on that short, and pretty much the only winner today was the NASDAQ. That moved 1%, still the smallest CPI reaction in 6 months. And then the bonds, they went up, but they're still down from when we shorted it just after Powell. So it's pretty wild what we saw here. And again, the base logic was that inflation is going down. Yeah, I'm fully mukbanging this. And I got the Chipotle tacos too. See, I was ready because you guys gave me too much. You said deliver it and Chick-fil-A. So I said run it, bro. I ate 2 of these already. So I don't even know how much I'm going to be able to eat of this. We got to work out after. But honestly, I was just ranting too much. I forgot what I was talking about. I gotta go and look back. Okay, hold on. Okay, that's what I was saying before I said we were fully mukbanging it. Again, the logic today was that inflation was coming down and people were excited. Again, it wasn't because of headline. It was because the super core came down. But now, this is what I want to talk about. This is what we brought up yesterday, and this is that cuck fest, because look at how the market responded. It came out, we popped up, it was like a 0.3 on the first candle, and there's 2 little sections. You see that second rally, this was like 5 minutes after the release when it started circulating. Ooh, I almost dropped that on all this white. It started circulating that the super core came down. Again, this core services, excluding rent and housing and all of that, that gave you the second pop. So we were up like 0.8 and it was doing good. Again, this was only pricing in 1.1 for the day. And I'm talking about the S&P. NASDAQ ended up doing good there, but right when we opened, we immediately dropped, had a little bit of a pop, and that's kind of where we closed around today. And then you started to sell off, and we even went red on the day. I think the NASDAQ was at 0.01 green, almost went red, and then you bounced off of all of it. So what ended up happening, this was that cuck. This is where I was saying yesterday, if it comes in this range between the 5.5 and 5.7, I said it's all about core. Everybody was focusing on super core, and although that is great and Powell is looking at it, like we said yesterday, there's a very big problem if that is not dropped now after 5 months in a row, all this disinflation, everything else, that is saying something. So again, it pushes us into the next CPI. So we ended up kind of doing nothing. The Dow, I think, found a way to go green. It looked like Dow was going to go red, but it pretty much was a cuck. We're going to see what happens tomorrow. I dipped this and I didn't even bite this. I'm not good at my talk too much for a mukbang, bro. I don't know if this is what you want, man. But I got the next point for you. Now this is just annoying. But the PPI. We'll keep it, man. We'll keep it going. Do you guys watch mukbangs? Is this what it's... I haven't watched a mukbang in a while. But I feel like this is what it's like. I'm going to take another bite. But PPI. 1 hour before the bell. So digest that. I'll digest this. So that means tomorrow, before the bell, we are going to get another event, kind of like the CPI, and I think kind of like today, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's going to be a nothing burger. Well, we'll see what happens, but you really need inflation and these inflation metrics to show a new development. And that's what we were saying yesterday. If core came below 5.5 or above 5.7, that would be a new development in the last 3 to 4 months, the last quarter on inflation. So that's what we need in the data, but today that didn't happen. You got the surprise development with the super core, but only way you're getting really bullish off that is if you're very, very forward looking, because it is a good sign. There's no denying that. It hasn't came down since summer of last year, but remember, Powell and them already said it's going down. The worst thing would be if that was the decline Powell and them were talking about. Oh no, then that would be even worse. But the whole point is we're waiting to see tomorrow if that PPI, if it does show a development, it has to be something new over the last quarter, and that is where we could really start to move tomorrow. So we'll see. And the thing about PPI, that's producer prices, and why it is important tomorrow, we've seen big reactions. One, the past PPIs have actually collapsed already, but then two, the PPI, that feeds into the PCE. So again, digest that for a second. Again, PCE, pop quiz, what's that? Heck of a bite. The PCE, I'm talking like a chipmunk. That's Powell's favorite gauge. So of inflation, that's the Fed's favorite gauge. So I need a water. That's why tomorrow will be important, because if that does show a new development, then we will watch PCE or inflation make something, and the market can move, especially now after what we got here today and all of that. So overall, it was wild. I think the move on the markets were wild. Even the inverse correlation between bonds and equities today, we've been talking about that. It's fascinating. Then we even had earnings after the bell. We're going to start seeing those wrap up. Nothing too wild. But now these data sets and then any other Fed speakers coming in the next week, we will hear from the UK Central Bank, I believe, this week. And a couple of more global data sets. Like, that'll move us. But like we said from yesterday, we're looking for this runway. So right now, and even part of today, even after today, one big development, this could be a narrative that we see emerge. Again, we need to see the runway, because you're going to get some momentum up or down leading us into now the final CPI than Powell. So that's a month. So we got a little bit of time. So hopefully you see what I'm saying. But one of these narratives that's forming, Nicky Timiraos, he said it today. He made an article saying how the CPI could support the Fed pausing, and now for June, rate hike odds have gone to 0. The pause odds are like literally 100% now. So we'll see. This is where the bond market has been saying a lot of that, but I think after a little bit more data tomorrow, again, you even have consumer sentiment on Friday, we'll see how it all comes into play, and then we'll go from there. But I think as we get after the data, I think the narrative will be clear, and then we'll see where we're going from all of it. So Chad, that's all of that. I do got some plays. I don't know if I can finish this. You know I put bacon in it too? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I told you, bacon in the ranch now. We got to hit the ranch, son. I want to eat that taco though, man. I'm going to get into the plays. I'm going to take a bite. What do you think of this? What if we did every watch list like this? It's a change of pace. I definitely think so for some of y'all. But anyways, well, let us get into the plays. I don't even have lettuce though. Oh yeah. I talk too much. I got the guacamole, queso, and just steak. That's it. It looked kind of kind of looked like poop. Okay. Anyways, plays. I'm still short the bonds. Like I said earlier, I'm surprised that play. I was expecting to lose way more if today was positive or CPI was good. And that's why, thankfully, that core metric kind of worked. We're going to watch the continuation. But I really like those plays back and forth. I am going to watch for Disney after hours. They're down their earnings. I think that could be a very good earnings continuation play. And then finally, this was a play I made today. Still holding on to it. There's actually two. One was I didn't make it, but this one I made. PRGO. They got FDA approval for an over-the-counter abortion drug. So that was good. They popped up 4%. I thought I top-ticked it. So I do think there's a little bit of premium there, but maybe as that gets some hype and circulates, and depending as if the market gets a direction, I think that could be very good. But that was the only other play. But then note, we watched even Google too. We told you guys about the little AI thing that they're going to be doing. But, bro, this stock is already up now like $5 since that. Again, the NASDAQ was a real winner today. I think even Microsoft hit 52-week highs as well, too. But they had Google had their AI presentation, and it did really, really good. But then this little penny stock thing, no. We flipped this earlier in the year, again, this was part of the AI stuff. If you watch the AI video, they announced a partnership. They were selected by Google and Bard to be a part of that AI. So they confirmed it, put out a press release, the stock pop. It was a very, very interesting one to see. So that one was a good one. Going to be watching how it all plays out, but really, man, just holding bonds, whatever else we're into. Again, a lot of the other plays, still in some other post earnings, but I think the bonds are going to tell the story. And until we get a new development, I mean, I'm kind of ready to stay in this range. Oh, and I bought PayPal for the long term. I bought PayPal. Again, we bought Walgreens the other day. I don't know why. I didn't think I'd spend this much for the long term, but again, that's a bargain bin name right there, so I had to get it there. I think it could go down a little bit more, but I said, man, the farmer never plants if he waits for protection or perfection. Maybe do we need protection? But I liked it. We got like 50 shares in the big account, 5 shares in the small one. I like 61.90 or 62.90, one of those. But not too bad. That's your watch list. I can't get hype on the table because I have a taquito in my mouth. Not taquito, it's a steak. But I don't know, man. I want to get hype. I'm pretty hyped. Let me finish chewing. But Chad, I love you. God bless you. Thank you guys again. I don't know. It's a different page. I just got to tell you I love you. Thank you all again. And let's finish the rest of the year. It's already crazy. And pay attention to what you've learned so far. And have a little bit of conviction too. And have a little patience. Lower your expectations. Set the bar very low. And don't play with an amount that will make you uncomfortable. Trust me, go small, you won't even feel it at all. That's a good one. Oh, small, good decisions. Go small, you won't even feel it at all. Going small, you won't even feel it at all. Ooh, okay, I'm leaving. All right, Horn.